rebounds this season. He is a threat with Caleb Zerolini and Bryson Boltman. Let's get you the starting lineups first for the visiting Bulldogs. Number 3, Hunter Strait. Number 13, Trey Shearer. Number 22, Bradley Andrews. Number 24, Elijah Hayskamp. And number 33, Joe Knutson. And the starters for your McKendree University Bearcats are as follows. Number 1, Eric Powell II. Number 2, Carson Parker. Number 3, Caleb Zerolini. Number 13, Bryson Boltman. And number 31, Milos Vicentic. Vicentic with the ball now. He'll give it off to Parker. Parker will hand it off to Eric Powell II. That's Caleb Zerolini to Boltman. Boltman looks, drives, pulls back, lays it up for the first 2 points of the game, and the Bearcats lead 2-0. Again, we mentioned the names Bryson Boltman and Caleb Zerolini and Milos Vicentic, that three-headed dragon that you really do not want to have to attack here, especially at the Harry M. Statham Sports Center. As we mentioned, the Bearcats with a 7-2 home record this season, and a huge steal right there by the Bearcats gets things going once again. Milos for 3, makes it look easy, hangs the hand up, and he is on fire to start this game as we kind of expected. A big game here today for the Bearcats. Bulldogs in the all-purple, Bearcats in the all-white. What a block by Caleb Zerolini. Bulldogs able to corral the ball, though, and that is a 3 by number 30, Xavier Hall. Parker works the ball to Powell, to Vicentic. Zerolini, he's going to attempt a 3. He makes it look easy. Back-to-back threes by the Bearcats, and the Bearcats have jumped out to an 8-3 lead. Bulldogs looking for something. That's going to be a steal by Powell II. He's going to throw it off to Vicentic, and they're going to call a charge. And I believe they're going to call it on Truman State. And it is going to be a foul on Bradley Andrews, his first foul of the game. And they are going to say the call is on the floor, so Vicentic will not go to the free throw line. What an alley-oop attempt by Caleb Zerolini. Almost had it. Zerolini continuing to add to those highlight reel moments. That would have been a huge one there as a long 3, no good. Rebounded by Boltman. Boltman on the move. He gets it off to Milos Vicentic. He's fouled, and he is pumped up. Milos Vicentic makes it 10-3 with an and one opportunity. And here comes our highlight from our executive producer, Roger Wolf. Now Vicentic looking to complete the three-point play here. And makes it look easy. Again, coming into today's game, he was 16 out of 18 from the free throw line. We mentioned you do not want to foul him and send him to the line, and the Bulldogs must not have heard that scouting report. 11-3 our score. Bulldogs trailing as that shot falls short thanks to Hunter Strait, the senior from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Here come the Bearcats. Vicentic looks, finds Caleb Zerolini. Zerolini throws it off to Parker. Parker trying to get past his defender. Swipe the ball away was number 3. That's Hunter Strait. Zerolini having a word with our referee. Thought he did not touch it last. The referee is disagreeing with it, and it will be a Bulldogs possession. Bulldogs moving the ball around. That's Xavier Hall. They find Shearer to Strait. Shearer trying to get past Parker. Shearer finds some open space, lays it up, and throws it in for the 2 points. 11-5 our score. Boltman quickly down the court. Finds Vicentic. He spins, lays it up. That would have been a highlight reel if it went in, but it just falls short, and it's rebounded by the Bulldogs. Xavier Hall looks. Finds Hayskamp. Hayskamp for 3. He makes it look easy with the defender in his face. And the Bulldogs chipping away at the Bearcats lead, 11-8 our score. Boltman quickly to Zerlini, to Parker, to Powell the second. He's got Vicentic right next to him, goes to him. Vicentic thought about it, can't find some space. Vicentic trying to set a screen, no good there. Powell, and now we're going to have a whistle blown. Boltman with a look of disapproval. And it's going to be Boltman's first foul, the Bearcats' first foul. Boltman having a word with our referee, trying to get a little bit of an explanation on the foul. Head coach George Suggs giving a little bit of an explanation, trying to get kind of an understanding from Boltman's present. But right now is the Bulldogs in control of the basketball. And that's Xavier Hall. They look. Trying to get it to Shearer. They do. Back to Hayskamp. Shearer makes a move. Hayskamp to Straight. Shot clock down to 5. Bearcats defense putting the pressure on. Can they get it? 2-1. The shot off and no good. Rebounded by Caleb Zerlini. Zerlini back to Boltman. Boltman for a long three. That one's no good. And here come the Bulldogs once again. Hall leading the charge. Finds Hayskamp for a long three. Off the front of the rim, no good. And rebounded by Boltman. Boltman finds Eric Powell. That's the Feetkoff. They look to number 20. That's Luke Hensler. Back to Boltman. To Powell. Powell finds Hensler. Hensler tries to go inside to Boltman. Boltman makes a spin move, lays it up, and somehow gets the basket. How does Bryson Boltman make that play look so easy? 13-8 our score here. Bearcats leading over the Bulldogs. Xavier Hall is going to pull up. No good there. Rebounded by Hayskamp. Hayskamp lays it up and makes it look even easier on the other side. Again, Hayskamp is a defensive rebounding machine coming into today's game with 133 rebounds there. Just on the defensive side. Picking up a few more rebounds here today. Hensler looks, spins, finds Powell. Powell had to look at his footing there for a minute, make sure he wasn't out of bounds. To Hensler, Boltman, 6 remaining on the shot clock. Boltman's got to make a move. Long three, off the front tip of the rim, no good, and it's rebounded by the Bulldogs. An easy layup there by Straight. As Hayskamp is fouled on the play. So we've hit our first media timeout here at the Harry M. Statham Sports Center. Our score, McKendree 13, Truman State 12. We'll take a quick commercial break here on the GLVC Sports Network.
Checking in for Truman St, number 2, Brandon Kratz,
number 13-12 our score here as the Bulldogs will head to the free throw line as Elijah Hayskamp was fouled on that last basket, the easy layup by Hayskamp. So Hayskamp will have an opportunity for the and one and to tie this game. As we talk about Hayskamp, he leads the team right now with 7 points, 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 3 from three-point range, 3 rebounds in his 6 minutes that he's been played here so far. Now make that 8 points. And on the other hand, for McKendree, Milos Vicentic with 6 points, 2 of 3 from the field, 1 of 1 from three-point range, and he's also 1 of 1 at the free throw line. Also has an assist and a steal in his time here on the court. 13 all here in the first. 13:40 still kind of remaining, so a lot of basketball still to be played between these two teams. As that move is made by Hayden Meeks, the sophomore from Adalia, Australia, giving the Bearcats their lead back once again, 15-13. As we expected, this game was going to be a back-and-forth battle, just like we expected kind of in the women's game early in the first half, and then the Bulldogs ran away with it in that second half for the women's game. Hopefully the Bearcats can change that as it is tipped. Boltman trying to come up with the play, and then a foul called on the play as some sloppy passing for the Bulldogs as head coach Jeff Horner in his 5th season having a few words with his team about it. But a foul called on McKendree. That's number 10, Alexander Davikov, the senior from Serbia, picking up his first foul. The Bearcats' 3rd team foul here in the first half. Boltman trying to get on his player. That's number 2, Brandon Cracked, the sophomore from Cahokia, Missouri. And we're going to have a traveling called on the Bulldogs. And it will be McKendree possession. As the Bearcat faithful coming alive saying you can't do that, and that is a fact. You cannot travel in the game of basketball. Now, I guess if you're a road team, technically you're traveling to the home team's team, but that's just a whole other complicated traveling disaster. So we'll just stick with what's on the court right now, and it's going to be a foul on Truman State. That gives them their 3rd team foul of the game. So both teams with 3 fouls here early in the first half. Boltman looking to find somebody to inbound. He's got to be quick, though, as the 5-second rule was almost in effect there. But he does find number 4, Malcolm Davis. Now, Bearcats work with a short shot clock here as 8 seconds remain. Boltman makes a spin move, hits the box, and then falls it in. Again, how does Bryson Boltman make those plays when he's got a defender draped all over him and yet still somehow makes it look easy making those baskets? Long 3 attempt by number 2, Brandon Cracked. And the Bearcats holding on to a 17-16 lead. Boltman in possession of the ball, hands it off. Long 3 by Hayden Meeks, no good. The sophomore from Australia trying to add to the 3 totals here for the Bearcats early on in this first half. Bearcats defense looking for a stop here. Layup attempt by number 4, Dylan Peeters, the junior from Elridge, Iowa. Somehow in traffic gets it to fall through, and now Truman State leads. Boltman finds some open space, leads it in, and the Bearcats retake that lead 19-18 with 11:20 still remaining here in the first half. Bearcats trying to bring the defensive pressure. They look to Peeters. Peeters hands it off. Long 3 attempt again by number 2, Brandon Cracked. No good there, and they rebound by the Bearcats. They're on the move once again. 19-18 their score. Long 3, and he nails it. Number 21, Hayden Meeks. Xavier Hall looks. Has to back up, find some open space and an open teammate. That's number 14, C.E. Talton. That long 3, no good. And they're going to say he's out of bounds. As number 4, Dylan Peeters, was going to throw it right into the hands of the Bearcats anyway, so luckily he was called out of bounds. As we've reached our second media timeout here at the Harry M. Statham Sports Center, the Bearcats 22, Bulldogs 18. We'll take a quick commercial break.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect It's the name of the game.
Back here at the Harry M. Statham Sports Center here on the campus of McKendree University after our second media timeout. Again, the Bulldogs of Truman State trailing 18-22 to McKendree. We'll take a look at some of our stat leaders. Bryson Boltman with 8 points. He is 4 of 6 from the field, 0 of 2 from the three-point range, 3 rebounds, 2 assists in his 9 minutes that he's been playing. The Bearcats shooting 50% from the three-point range here early on in the first half. That's pretty impressive. They are also 100% from the free throw line, even though that only free throw coming from Milos Vizintic. And on the other hand, for the Bulldogs, Hazekamp still leading the Bulldogs with 8 points, 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 3 from the three-point range. He also has a free throw to his name, 3 rebounds. The Bulldogs shooting 43.8% from the field, 42% from three-point range. So both these teams throwing up some threes, and right now they are going through the net. Boltman looks, finds Milos Vizintic. He's got the ball stripped away. Luckily, Parker was right there to pick it up and throw it in. So Parker picks the ball up and gets 2 points on the play. I think that's how Carson Parker drew that play going up. Bulldogs trailing 24-18 here to the Bearcats. Owu throws a screen, looks for Hazekamp. Good back and forth passing, but the Bulldogs have to be wary of the shot clock. It's down to 5. Hazekamp thought about a 3, had Boltman in his face, instead pulls up that shot, no good, not even close, by number 3, Hunter Straight, and it's going to be a shot clock violation on the Bulldogs, and a substitution change will come in as Trey Shearer, the sophomore from Montezuma, Iowa, will come into the game. Zerlini coming back into the game now for the Bearcats as number 21. Hayden Meeks will go to the bench, get some handshakes on his way there. Catch a breather. Back to the action as Boltman finds Milos Vizintic. Has 3 guys on him. They look to Parker. Parker had the ball poked away. Davikov right there. Vizintic well out about shooting instead. He spins, lays it up. Basket goes out, but Vizintic draws the contact, and he will head to the free throw line. As that is Induka Uwa picking up his first foul of the game. The 6'8" junior from Lawrenceville, Georgia, as Vizintic hits his second free throw of the game. As Vizintic goes through his motions once again. Continues to dribble, takes a deep breath, and he's ready. He is 3 of 3 from the free throw line here today for the Bearcats early on in this first half. The Bearcats out to a 26-18 lead with just over 9 minutes remaining until halftime. Bulldogs trying to get past this Bearcats defense that has given them some pressure here the last few minutes. Hazekamp thought about shooting. Instead, he'll hand it off to Straight. Straight to Shearer. Shearer back to Straight. Straight for a long 3 off the back end of the board. And Caleb Zerlini comes up with the rebound. He'll quickly get it off to Vizintic. Makes a move past Xavier Hall. Lays it up. No good on that attempt. And is last touched by Truman State. So Boltman will inbound the ball as they put 20 on the shot clock. Boltman. Long pass to Zerlini. Thinks about going to Vizintic. Instead, we'll go back to Boltman. Boltman back to Zerlini again. Zerlini has the ball poked away, but able to control it. Look, spins. He's might have drew contact on the play. This ball was up in the air, but Vizintic was right there. Has to hurry, get the shot off, and hit the rim. So a fresh 20 as Zerlini tried to put a shot up. He gets fouled. And that is another foul on the Bulldogs. That goes on number 4, Peeters. his first of the game, the team's 5th foul here in the first half for the Bulldogs. And now it looks like head coach Jeff Horner is going to get a technical. So Horner gets teed up, and that gives the Bearcats an opportunity here. So 2 free throws here coming to the Bearcats. They're going to let Bryson Boltman take these 2 free throws. Now, these are the technical foul free throws. Zerlini still has a chance at the line to make his free throws on the last foul. Boltman makes his first free throw from the technical foul, but misses the second. Boltman's are like, all right, that's fine, we're fine. So the Bearcats pick up an extra point thanks to the technical foul. They could have made it 2, but 1 is fine. And now Zerlini will go to the line after the last foul. Called on number 4, Dylan Peeters. So a chance to add at least 3 points here for the Bearcats, as Zerlini's first attempt is good. And now the Bearcats have jumped out to a 10-point lead here. As we look over at the Bulldogs bench, looks like number 24, Elijah Hayskamp, getting a little tape for one of his fingers. As Jeff Horner continuing to have a word with our referees, not happy with the last foul called. It must have said something to draw the technical foul. As that 3 attempt no good by number 3, Trey Shearer. Here come the Bearcats. Vicentage for a long 3. No good. Rebounded by Hunter Strait. Bulldogs quickly trying to get their pace back into their reach. And what a dunk by number 4, Dylan Peeters. 8 minutes remaining until the halftime. 28-20 our score. Bearcats leading. Powell looked, and he took too many steps and got a travel violation.
We have a timeout on the board. This is the media.
So we've hit our 3rd media timeout here at the Harry M. Statham Sports Center. Bearcats 28, Bulldogs 20. Quick commercial break coming up right now.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Back here on the campus of McKendree University for today's GLVC matchup between the Truman State Bulldogs and the McKendree Bearcats. Bearcats jumping out to a 28-20 lead. We'll give you some quick stats here. Again, Hayskamp, the leading scorer for the Bulldogs with 8. He's 1 of 3 from the three-point range, 1 of 1 from the free throw, has 3 rebounds and 1 assist in his 9 minutes that he's played. And on the Bearcat side, it's Bryce Boltman with 9 points, 4 of 6 from the field, 4 rebounds, 2 assists in his 12 minutes that he has been on the court for the Bearcats. And Boltman's got a giant smile on his face right now. He has to be happy with the way the Bearcats are playing. What a block by Caleb Zerlini, but the Bulldogs were still able to get the ball in, as that was Dylan Peeters coming off the block from Caleb Zerlini, and we'll get you a replay of that here in a second. But right now, the Bearcats looking to get something going here. Milos Vicentage backs into Hayskamp. He has to fight. Ball tipped away. Boltman thought about a 3 there. Has to back in. Facing Hayskamp. Lays it up. No good. Gets his own offensive rebound. Long pass to Caleb Zerlini. Boltman finds his spot in the 3. In and out. And a whistle blown. I believe a foul called on McKendree. Milos Vicentage drawing the foul. That's his first foul. The Bearcats' 14th foul. And the Bulldogs looking to continue to chip away here at the Bearcats' lead. 28-22 our score. Just under 7 minutes remaining. They feed the ball inside. Another block by Caleb Zerolini. That's 2 in back-to-back possessions. Boltman finds Milos. Milos looking for somebody. Has Zerolini. Zerolini lays it up. Has to fight through Dylan Peeters, the 6'8 junior, but makes it look easy. And the Bearcats have jumped out to an 8-point lead here early in the first half. Bulldogs just looking for an alley-oop pass there. The referees are going to say it was last tipped by the Bearcats. So possession will stay in favor of the Bulldogs, but however, the Bulldogs have 14 seconds left on the shot clock. So they have to be wary of that. Inbound the ball, they'll get it to Hall, to Hayscamp. They'll look to Peeters. Hayscamp wide open from 3 in the Bearcats bench. He looks back at them, doesn't quite say anything, but gives them the look as Hayscamp hits a 3. The Bulldogs trail by 5. Zerolini looking for someone, finds Boltman. Boltman trying to go to Powell. Instead, he's got a defender draped on him. Powell finds an opening space. They go to Zerolini. Xavier Hall gets in there, interferes with that, and takes the ball away. Here comes Xavier Hall. He's going to drive down the court. They'll look to Hayscamp again. He thought about shooting a 3. Instead, passes it back. That's Shearer. Shearer gets a screen from Hayscamp. They'll look to number 4. Lays it up. No good as Peeters was fouled on the play. That's Zerolini drawing the foul. His first of the game. Bearcats' 5th foul here in the first half. Free throw attempt. Makes the first one is Dylan Peeters. Again, the junior from Elridge, Iowa. Makes it a 4-point lead here for the Bearcats. One more if he can make it, and does. And now we are back down to a 3-point lead for the Bearcats. Boltman quickly inbounds it to Parker. Bearcats kind of slowing down their tempo here on this possession. Not going as fast as they typically do. Zerolini has it. That's Parker wide open for 3. Off the front rim, no good, and it is rebounded by the Bulldogs. A good save there by Peeters. They look to Xavier Hall. Hall drives. He is fouled on the play. That looks to be Carson Parker picking up his second foul. So that will draw Parker's second foul, the Bearcats' 6th foul here in the first half, and it will send number 30, Xavier Hall, the freshman from Shawnee Mission, Kansas, to the free throw line. First free throw is made. As we take a look at Hall's numbers coming into today's game, he is shooting 74.4% from the free throw line, 41.9% from the field, and 35.4% from the three-point range. Right now he's at the free throw line, makes the first and second. So the Bearcats will make a substitution change here. Boltman in control. They'll speed up the tempo just a little bit more now here. Zerolini looks. Boltman finds some open space, and we're going to have a whistle blown on the Bearcats. So a 3-second violation called on the Bearcats. Bulldogs possession. They trail 31-29. Scoreboard incorrect right now, as it is 30-29, but a huge 3 right there from Xavier Hall. So Xavier Hall hits the 3, gives the Bulldogs a lead, and head coach George Suggs is going to call it a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here on the GLVC Sports Network in between that 30-second timeout. We'll take a look at some of our stats. Once again, the Bulldogs shooting 44% from the field, 41% from the three-point range, and they are 100% at the free throw line so far here in the first half. Hayescamp with 11 points. He's 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 4 from three-point range, 1 of 1 at the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Our leading rebound go-getter for the Bulldogs is Peeters. And then for McKendree, Boltman still leading the Bearcats with 9 points. He's 4 of 8 from the field, 0 of 3 from three-point range, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. He is tied with Vicintage in leading on the assists. And then 2 key steals from Powell the second, but it is all Caleb Zerolini in the block category with 3 huge blocks. Boltman trying to get the Bearcats back the lead. He's got the ball picked away from Hunter St. St, he's on the move, and it is a nice defensive play by Eric Powell. One referee says it's Bearcats ball. Another referee comes in and says it's Truman State's ball. They have a meeting of the minds, and it's quick, and it's going to be Truman State's possession. So Hunter St denied by Eric Powell. And now that pass is going to go out of bounds. So St was trying to find one of his teammates, probably Xavier Hall, who was the closest there. Hall went left, the ball went right, and the ball went right out of bounds. And it will be possession in favor of McKendree. 32-30 our score, the Bulldogs leading. As we have expected this to be a back-and-forth battle, the Bearcats jumped out to a early lead. And there is going to be a foul called on number 3, Hunter St, the senior from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Fouling number 3 of the Bearcats, Caleb Zerolini, the sophomore from Aviston, Illinois. And then correction, that foul is going to go on Xavier Hall, the freshman from Shawnee Mission, Kansas. So that is Hall's first foul. Zerolini at the free throw makes his first. We'll take a look at Zerolini from the free throw line here. 1 of 2 right now. Now going to be 2 of 3. Looking to make it 3 of 4 and cannot connect on that free throw. So the Bearcats trying to tie things up, cannot, and they trail by 1 right now. Defense looking for a huge stand. Elijah Hayescamp, the long 3 attempt, hits the front of the rim, but no good there. And a rebound by the Bearcats. What a dunk by Caleb Zerolini! My, oh my! I don't know how many times I've talked to Colin Surrey, the other voice of the McKendree Bearcats, about Caleb Zerolini becoming a highlight reel as that basket is made by Trey Shearer. But Caleb Zerolini continues to become a human highlight reel, and I believe I even showed our assistant SID today before this game started my game notes from a few weeks ago that he is, and I literally wrote, Caleb Zerolini, human highlight reel. Watch out, Sports Center. Vicintage makes a spin move. Can't get that one down. And here come the Bulldogs. That's Hall. He'll get it off to Peeters. Peeters back to Hall. He steps out of bounds, but I believe they're going to call a foul on the play. And they are. It's going to be Bryson Boltman. And now head coach George Suggs getting into a discussion with our head referee. So we'll get a little bit of an explanation on that last call as we've hit a media timeout here at the Harry M. Statham Sports Center. We'll take a quick commercial break here on the GLVC Sports Network.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela burns it. Incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
Back here at the Harry M. Statham Sports Center, coming out of our media timeout, and my executive producer has told me we have a replay of Caleb Zerlini's dunk, so we'll show it to you here right now. As we've mentioned, Caleb Zerlini, every time he steps onto this court, you think he does something, and then he just improves it like 10 times better. And we've seen it on the court. We've seen it during practice. It's nuts what Caleb Zerlini can do here. But right now, the Bearcats trailing 34-33 to the Bulldogs, and Xavier Hall will head to the free throw line as Boltman was credited with that last foul on that last play, as head coach George Suggs continuing to have a discussion with our referee, and he's still trying to get a little bit of an explanation of that call, as it looks like Hall was going out of bounds at the last second, and Boltman was right there. Might have got a push off, and that is what our referee saw and the foul called. But nonetheless, Hall makes one of his free throws and makes it 35-33. No good on the second one, and a rebound by Milos Vicentic. And the Bearcats looking to tie things up or even take the lead here off of a three by Alexander Davitkov. No good there. And here come the Bulldogs. Hall looks to Hayskamp. Feeds it to number 4. That's Dylan Peeters, and Peeters extends the Bulldogs' lead to 37-33. Just under 2.5 minutes remaining until halftime. The Bearcats still in good hands here as they try and continue to chip away here at the lead. Zerlini looks, spins, lays it up, and makes the easy basket for 2 points, and it makes it 37-35 with 2 minutes remaining. Bulldogs continuing to look to Hayskamp. Hayskamp thought about shooting there, but Parker right in his face. They go to number 3 straight. That's Hall. Hall gets a screen from Hayskamp. Fans wanted a foul called on that screen from Hayskamp. None called there. And that missed, no good. 37-35 our score. Bearcats look. And a foul called on number 3, Hunter Strait, as he's just standing there still in the same position as the foul was called, in disbelief. The senior from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, I should say. And that will send number 10, Alexander Davitkov, the 6'1 senior from Belgrade, Serbia, to the free throw line. And we'll take a look at Davitkov's numbers here this season. Our last updated as of 2/1/23. Davitkov averaging 5 points a game, 2 rebounds per game, 81% from the free throw line, 44.6 from the field, and 39.7 from three-point range as he makes his first free throw. And if he makes the second one, which he does, we are tied at 37 with 1:34 remaining left until halftime. Bulldogs continuing to try and feed the ball back to Hayskamp. That's off the ground. Layup by number 13. That's Trey Shear, the sophomore from Montezuma, Iowa. That gives the Bulldogs the lead once again, 39-37. Boltman looks to Vicentic. Milos, he draws some contact. No basket as Parker laid it up, and we're going to have a foul called on Truman State. That'll be on number 30, Xavier Hall, his second foul of the game. It's the 9th team foul for the Bulldogs, 7 fouls here for the Bearcats. So Milos Vicentic in the 1-and-1 opportunity here for the Bearcats. As they trail by 2, Vicentic makes the first free throw. Take a look at him. He is currently now 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Bearcats 9 of 12 from the free throw line here in the first half. Second attempt from Milos, and it's good, and we are back to being tied at 39 with just about a minute remaining here until halftime. And we will have a timeout called by Truman State. So they'll take a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here on the GLVC Sports Network And take a look at some of our stats before we head into halftime. As the Bearcats, 13 of 26 from the field, shooting 50%, 3 of 10 from three-point range. And the Bearcats started this game off on fire from the three-point range, but has since then cooled down a little bit. Zerolini still 1 of 1 from the three-point range. Vicentic has 1. He's 1 of 2. And Hayden Meeks 1 of 2. And on the opposite side, the Bulldogs are 5 of 13 from the three-point range. They started out hot from the three-point range too and kind of have cooled down. Hayes Camp 2 of 5 from there. Xavier Hall has hit both of his 2s from 3. And right now, Hayes Camp leading the Bulldogs in points with 11. Zerolini for the Bearcats with 11 of his own. 39-39 as Hayes Camp pulls up. That shot in and out of the basket, and it's rebounded by Caleb Zerolini. 40 seconds remain on the game clock. Shot clock is still on here for the Bearcats, so they cannot get the last shot off unless they get a rebound here. As Caleb Zerolini in a fight with Hayes Camp makes the basket look easy over Elijah Hayes Camp. 41-39, Bearcats leading. 20 seconds remain on the game clock. Shot clock turned off. So the perfect opportunity here for the Bulldogs to either tie or take the lead late into halftime. Bearcats defense trying to prevent that three. Hayes Camp looks, drives. He is brought down to the court looking for some kind of contact. Puts his hands up in the air as the referees walk by. It won't be a foul, so we head to halftime. The field 30% from three-point range as they started this game off hot from the three-point range. It looked like they couldn't miss. And then 76% from the free throw line. So the Bearcats will inbound the ball to start our second half. Possession arrow now favoring the Bulldogs in the next jump ball possession. And Boltman looks to Vicentic. Thought he had the shot there. As a long pass to Eric Powell. He has to keep an eye on his feet, make sure he doesn't step out of bounds. Boltman tried to get it to Milos Vicentic as it was being taken away by the Bulldogs, and Vicentic draws the foul, the first foul here of the second half. That is Vicentic's second foul of the game, as Vicentic and Boltman have an exchange of words. Boltman saying, "My bad, that was not the greatest pass I could have got to you." Hayes Camp from three, short. And Zerolini gets the defensive rebound, and here come the Bearcats. Their original 5 back on the court as Zerolini lays it up and gets the 2 points. And just like that, the Bearcats open the first half with a 2-0 lead. And now the Bearcats get the first points here of the second half as they quickly feed the ball into number 4. That's Dylan Peeters, the junior from Elridge, Iowa, getting the basket. And we are back to a 2-point lead here for McKendree. 43-41 our score. Just minutes into the second half if you're just tuning in. And Hunter Strait draws his second foul of the game, the team's first foul here of the second half. Boltman inbounds it to Vicentic. Vicentic will hand it off to Eric Powell. It's Carson Parker. Parker to Vicentic. Vicentic has to hurry. Seconds ticking away on the shot clock. Gets it to Parker. Parker lays it up for the easy basket with 5 remaining on the shot clock. The Bearcats jumped out back to a 4-point lead. This Bulldogs team will not go away, however, and we expected this to be a tight contest through and through. Xavier Hall looks. Thought about shooting a 3. Now has some space. Doesn't shoot the 3 there. Trying to find Hayes Camp. Hayes Camp's being defended well. 5 seconds remain on the shot clock, and his last tipped off the fingertips of number 4, Dylan Peeters. He had to hurry there no matter what with 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock, but it's a turnover on the Bulldogs. Possession, Bearcats. Eric Powell to Parker. Vicentic sets the screen, now gets the ball. Spins, tries to beat Hayskamp. Hits the front tip of the rim. It doesn't go. And it goes right into the hands of Elijah Hayskamp. Hayskamp with a wide open shot. 3, no good there. As Hayskamp continues to struggle to shoot from the 3-point range here. As we're going to have a foul. As Zerlini was heading to the rim. He draws contact. As that's going to be Elijah Hayskamp's first foul of the game. The Bulldogs' second team foul here in the second half. Boltman directing traffic. He wants Vicentic in a certain spot. Instead, he'll go to Caleb Zerlini. Zerlini looks, drives, shot, makes it look easy once again. Caleb Zerlini, 47-41 our score. Now here come the Bulldogs. They have to find some answer back. That's Xavier Hall. He drives. He lays it up. No good there. Whistle blown. And looks like a foul will be called on McKendree. As it's number 3, Caleb Zerlini. And our executive producer, Roger, has a quick highlight for us. Again, we talked about Caleb Zerlini being a highlight reel, and he continues to show it here as Xavier Hall heads to the free throw line. As that was Caleb Zerlini's second foul of the game. Bearcats' second team foul of the second half as Hall makes both of his free throws. The lead goes back to 4 for the Bearcats. Zerlini, the human highlight reel here for the Bearcats this season. Gives it off to Milos Vicentic. They look to Parker. Parker to Boltman. Back to Zerlini. What a pass to Parker. Tries to lay it up. No good there. Does hit the rim, so it's a fresh 20. Powell, long 3. He makes it look easy. Eric Powell, the second, the senior from Lexington, Kentucky. Picking up his first points of the game, his first 3 of the game. And speaking of threes, that's number 3, Hunter Strait, throwing it in for the easy layup. Bearcats still leading by 5. Now Powell to Boltman. Boltman, he's going to shoot a 3. That one's no good. Vicentic comes up with the rebound. It's blocked. Vicentic gets his own rebound again. And a whistle blown, I believe a foul on number 22 of the Bulldogs it is. That's Bradley Andrews, his third foul of the game. Andrews, the sophomore from Charles City, Iowa. No points this yet. Has a rebound, but has picked up his third foul of the game. So he is the only one that's kind of in foul trouble right now for the Bulldogs. 11 fouls have been called for the Bulldogs. 3 here in the second half, and Andrews with 3 of them. Hayskamp with 2, Strait with 2, Hall with 2, Talton with 1, and Peeters with 1. So head coach Jeff Horner is going to have to start making some decisions here if he's going to keep Andrews in this game much longer with 3 fouls, or if he puts him out there for a little bit longer, waits until 4 happens, if it happens. But right now, our score 52-45. Nice pass out on the outside. That's number 13, Trey Shearer, for 3. And a sophomore cutting into the lead here for the Bulldogs. Both coaches directing traffic. Milos, Vicentic, no good on that shot. Probably would have been a 2 from our vantage point. Might have been a 3. But Hayskamp gets it out to Shear. Shear for another 3. No good, and it is a defensive rebound by Caleb Zerlini. Zerlini with a long pass to Parker. He has to make a diving attempt to save it from going out of bounds and hitting some of his teammates on the bench as that shot from Vicentic falls just a bit short again. Take a look at the rebound numbers for McKendree. 25 rebounds right now for the Bearcats. 8 of them coming to Caleb Zerlini. 7 offensive rebounds for the Bearcats, 18 on the defensive side. Parker called with the foul. And our first media timeout here of the second half. So we'll take a quick commercial break here on the GLVC Sports Network, your home for all Bearcat sports.
McKendree University is about the experience of a higher quality education and the discovery of endless opportunities. It's the experience of joining a vibrant community, making valuable connections, and serving others in the world around you. It's about developing strong leadership skills, both in the classroom and on the field, learning from expert faculty, and attaining the personalized education you deserve. It's the experience of finding a better you. McKendree University, make your mark.
Back from our media timeout, Bearcats 52, Bulldogs 48. And Alexander Davidkov will be making his way back onto the court after the substitution change in between media timeouts. So 25 rebounds for the Bearcats, 8 for Caleb Zerlini. Zerlini leading the Bearcats with 17 points right now. Milos Vizintic right behind him with 12, and Boltman at 9. Those three-headed dragon I mentioned earlier in our pregame as Elijah Hayskamp throws up the three. Offensive rebound gives an opportunity here for the Bulldogs, as that is going to be a travel. As that was Xavier Hall that was going up for the three, loses the ball, bounced it again, and just an unfortunate situation for Hall. The freshman making a chance out of it, and unfortunately it's a traveling violation. So it gives the Bearcats the opportunity once again to put some more points on the scoreboard. Davidkov hands it off to Boltman. Boltman to Eric Powell. He shoots. And it's another three. Eric Powell has picked up his 6th point here in the second half. He had no points coming into the second half, has 6, and has hit 2 huge threes here for the Bearcats to give the Bearcats a 55-48 lead. Hayskamp fakes out Boltman. He comes back with a 3 of his own. And again, you got to keep an eye out on Elijah Hayskamp. He was our player to shut down here for the Bearcats. It's Davidkov. Gives it to Powell. Back to Davidkov. Boltman looking. Trying to find someone. Has Zerlini open. Instead, Zerlini's going to drive, draw contact. No good there. But the foul does occur, and it will be Zerlini, I believe. So Zerlini will not go to the free throw line as the foul was occurred before the shooting action. Andrews picking up his 4th foul. And again, we were debating whether head coach Jeff Horner was going to do something about it. Now he has to do something about it, with Andrews sitting at 4 fouls. So it'll probably be a while until we see him. Zerlini looks as a foul is going to be called on Truman State. And Jeff Horner has upset with that call, and he has to be careful with what he has to say. He's already picked up a technical foul in the first half. Doesn't want to pick up another one. Boltman looks, finds Powell. Powell to the Davidkov. That's Zerlini. Thought he had a move there, doesn't. Finds Boltman instead. Boltman fakes, spins around, finds Zerlini. Zerlini for 3. No good there, in a rebound by Elijah Hayskamp. And here come the Bulldogs. That's Hall. He'll give it to Hayskamp. Back to Hall once again. Hayskamp looking for some space. Finds Hayskamp. Hayskamp goes to Landon Eland. Hall for a long 3. He makes it. And it's starting to rain threes down here at the Harry M. Statham Sports Center. My executive producer, Roger, did not bring an umbrella, neither did I, so that tells you how well prepared we are. But Zerlini comes up with the ball, and The question is, it's going to be a foul, and it is, and head coach Jeff Horner again is unhappy. And that's going to be a foul on Hayskamp. That's his second foul of the game. So Hayskamp's creeping closer and closer to that foul trouble here. Head coach Jeff Horner walks over to the side, has to bite his tongue as much as he possibly can. Again, we mentioned Horner picking up a technical foul in the first half. Not quite sure what he said to irritate the referees to draw it, but must have said the magic words to do it. And another foul going to be called on the Bulldogs. That's Dylan Peeters, his second foul of the game. The 7th team foul for Truman State just here in the second half. And Horner continuing to voice his opinion towards the referees, giving his 2 cents right now, and right now it's just falling on deaf ears on our referees. They hear it all the time. First free throw made by Boltman. Boltman waits his second free throw. In, out, and then out again. So the Bearcats extend their lead to 2. Plenty of basketball still left here in our second half. Just under 13 minutes remaining. 56-54 our score. As a whistle is blown, and Coach Jeff Horner is going to be happy about that, as it's not a foul on Truman State this time. As that foul will go on to Hayden Meeks, his first foul of the game, and the 4th for the Bearcats here in the second half. Hayskamp beats the ball to Peeters. Back to Hall. That's Elland. They'll feed it to the 6'8" junior, Dylan Peeters. He lays it up, makes it, and gets contact on the play. So an and one opportunity here for Peeters. And we'll give Peeters a chance to give the Bulldogs the lead here in the second half. And he makes it. So Bulldogs 57, Bearcats 56. And right now 3 Truman State Bulldogs with 14 points. Peeters, Hall, and Hayskamp. So we talked about the 3-headed dragon for the Bearcats. It might be a 3-headed dragon here for the Bulldogs. As our stats update, it's Peeters now with 15, Hayskamp with 14, and Hall with 14. But we talked about Zerolini, Vicentich, and Boltman being the 3-headed dragon for the Bearcats. Foul on the play. We'll send Hayden Meeks to the free throw line. And that is number 30, Xavier Hall, his 3rd foul of the game. So again, we'll take a look at our personal fouls. Right now, it's Andrews leading the team with 4. He's going to be on the bench for a while now. But Hayskamp with 3, Hall with 3, Straight with 2, Peeters with 2, Talton with 1, and Eli And with 1. Second free throw attempt, no good by Meeks. So we sit at 57-56, Bulldogs leading. Horner directing traffic to his team. That's Straight, looks, finds some open space, gets past Boltman and makes the layup. And the Bulldogs leading 59-56. Powell looks, finds Dafikoff. That's Boltman. Meeks finds some space. Dafikoff wide open for 3. He's making it rain! Alexander Dafikoff coming up huge, and we are tied at 59. Now, Bearcats defense trying to go to work. Powell trying to get the steal. Can't get past Straight. They find Hayskamp. Hayskamp back to Straight. Straight tries to shake off Boltman, unable to do that. They look to Shearer. Shearer, I believe, drew contact before the foul or before the shot was off. As that is Alexander Davitkov's second foul of the game. Bearcats' sixth team foul. We've hit a media timeout here at the Harry M. Statham Sports Center, so we'll take a quick commercial break here on the GLVC Sports Network.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
Back here at the Harry M. Statham Sports Center after our media timeout, we are all tied at 59, and some huge threes by Eric Powell, the second late here in the second half, as he is 2 for 2 from the three-point range, and a huge three from Alexander Davitkov just minutes ago, making this game tied at 59. So we'll look at some quick stats here as both teams break out of their huddle. 15 points for Peeters. He is 6 of 6 from the field, 3 of 3 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, and 2 fouls. And on the other hand, for the Bearcats, Zerolini continues to put up some huge numbers. 17 points, 7 of 9 from the field goal range, 1 of 2 from three-point range, 2 of 4 from free throws, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks. Those 8 rebounds and 3 blocks leading the team here today, as that is a basket made by number 21, Landon Island, the redshirt sophomore from Elridge, Iowa, giving the Bulldogs a 61-59 lead, and it is a back-and-forth battle here. As the largest lead for McKendree was 10, largest lead for the Bulldogs was 4, and right now it's just a 2-point game right now, as Milos Vicintic picks up his third foul of the game. And head coach George Suggs in his second season is going to have some decisions to make here soon, as Vicintic creeping closer and closer to that foul territory of how much playing time do we give him. Right now with 3, he's still in a decent area, but once he picks up foul number 4, that's when it gets a little bit complicated. As we have seen for the Bulldogs with Andrews sitting at 4, we have not seen him return to the court yet, and probably will not return to the court until necessary. But both free throw attempts made. Now it is a back and forth battle once again here in the second half. Powell looking for someone. Try to get to Boltman. Boltman's trying to get that inside paint area. Can't quite find it. Finds Milos Vicintic. Somehow Boltman went behind his back, found Milos Vicintic, and Vicintic puts it in for 2 points. We sit at 63-61. Bulldogs looking to capitalize. Try and get some points of their own. They feed it right to Straight, and what a block by Caleb Zerolini. And my executive producer, Roger, is all over that with the highlight of that huge block by Caleb Zerolini. Bearcats back in action as seconds tick off the shot clock. Long 3 by Straight, no good. And we're going to have, I believe, a foul called on the court. Question is it going to be on McKendree? And it will be. It will be Caleb Zerolini's third foul. So we'll give Hayescamp a chance at 1-1 here.
Truman St substitution number 30, Xavier Hall, in for Hunter Straight.
And now we mentioned before with Zerolini with 3 fouls, Vicintic with 3 fouls. What is head coach George Suggs going to do here We talked about this in their home opener early this season, how Coach George Suggs has a huge depth when going to his bench. I mean, you have Malcolm Davis, you've got Chris Porter, you've got Luke Hensler, you got Hayden Meeks, Landon Zerline, the redshirt freshman. So Suggs has a good collection of players on his bench that he can go to if some of his players get in foul trouble. But right now he's going to continue to roll with Zerlini and Vicentic on the court and hope that they don't pick up their fourth foul and kind of twist his hands into figuring out what he has to do there. But right now it's Davikov to Powell. Powell, long three, in and out. And that is Powell's first miss from the three-point range here today. Granted, now he's only taken 3 shots from the three-point range, but still impressive nonetheless. Hall holding on to the ball for the Bulldogs. They're going to take as much time as they possibly can, waiting for calls from their head coach, Jeff Horner. Hayskamp takes a long three. No good there. Rebounded by Vicentic. Here come the Bearcats. They trail 65-61 as Boltman draws the contact on the play. And it's going to be number 24, Elijah Hayskamp, his third foul. And now head coach Jeff Horner has to start thinking like head coach George Suggs. Now, there is some confusion at the desk as, according to our live stats, that's Hayskamp's fourth foul. But according to the scoreboard and I believe our official scorer, they have Hayskamp at 3 fouls as of now. So we'll see what that comes out of about. We had this issue at Greenville University the other night when I was working the PA there. There was questions about fouls and stuff like that, and the referees were going with what the official scorekeeper was having, even though it did not match up with the stats. So we'll see what the referees do here and whether that will affect this game and the outcome. But right now our stats say personal fouls 4 for Hayskamp. Scoreboard reads 3. And head coach Jeff Horner going to his play-by-play guys that are over right next to him, having a discussion with him, trying to figure out what's going on. Right now it's a free throw attempt here for Xavier Hall. He makes it, and it makes it 66-63, so the 1-and-1 opportunity will result in another one here for Mr. Hall. Second free throw up and good for Xavier Hall. We'll take a look at his numbers at the free throw line. He is now 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Parker quickly gets it off to Zerlini. Zerlini looks, drives, lays it up. How he does it! He had 2 Bulldogs literally in his way. A small window of opportunity, and Caleb Zerlini still finds that window, lays it up, and brings this game just a little bit closer. Bearcats defense putting the pressure here to the Bulldogs. Drives. What a block by Caleb Zerlini. The Bulldogs are wanting something from that play. Vicentic on the other side hits a 3. And just like that, the tide of momentum shifting towards the favor of the Bearcats. Coming off that Zerlini block, a huge 3 by Milos Vicentic, and the Bearcats lead by 1, 68-67. 7:40 still remaining here in our game. That goes off the hand of Powell, so it's going to be tipped. No backcourt violation. Hall has it for the Bulldogs. Looks for some open space. Runs into Milos Vicentic. Long shot, no good, and it's going to be a shot clock violation. Caleb Zerlini's giving the hand claps. The Bearcat faithful coming out here tonight. They're excited. We've got a media timeout here at the Harry M. Statham Sports Center. Our score is 68-67. Bearcats leading. We'll take a quick commercial break here on the GLVC Sports Network. Back after our media timeout here at the Harry M. Statham Sports Center. Bearcats leading 68-67 over the Truman State Bulldogs. And we're taking a look as head coach George Suggs is over at our stats table, continuing to figure out what the foul situation is for Mr. Elijah Hayscamp. Again, our stats on our live stats say 4 fouls for Mr. Hayscamp. Our PA announcer, TJ Miller, saying that he had 3. So again, it all depends on what our official scorer has in his book. And we'll continue to keep an eye on that situation now. But right now, Milos Vicentich looking to get his Bearcats going. That is a shot attempt, no good. That's blocked. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by McKendree, and it will be Bulldogs possession. So just over a little 7 minutes left here in our game. And this is as close as you can possibly get. The Bearcats coming off a close victory over William Jewell on Thursday night. Colin Surrey bringing you all the action that night. I bet he is excited to hear what this Bearcats team can do here tonight against Truman State. But right now, the Bearcats holding on to a 1-point lead. 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock, and the basket is made by Hunter Strait. 3 seconds remaining on the shot clock, as we mentioned. So this Bearcats defense is getting into the faces of the Bulldogs. Powell, long 3 attempt, no good. And he's missed his last 2 as Hayscamp comes up limping there for a minute. Looked like he might have tweaked his foot there for a second. Continue to run as we keep an eye on him, grimacing in a few pain. So that's going to be a key situation too. But Hayscamp, he's going to shoot a 3. In and out and rebounded by Bryce Boltman. Boltman quickly on the move, and so are the Bearcats. 6 minutes remaining in our game. 68-69 our score. The Bulldogs leading. They'll go to Parker. Parker to Powell. Powell again for 3. He makes it this time. Eric Powell now has 9 points here just in the second half. Again, we mentioned had none in the first. All 9 points coming off of 3s as Vicentich goes down to the floor, draws some contact, no good there. As Peeters shaking his head, thought he would draw some contact. Boltman tries and spins, and traveling's going to be called on Bryson Boltman. Head coach George Suggs having a chat with one of our referees again. Here come the Bulldogs. Bearcat fans coming alive here on a Saturday afternoon here as the Bearcats Bulldogs GLVC matchup. And the Bearcats wrapping up their 2-game homestand here. They will hit the road after this match. We'll talk about that here in a second. A long 3, no good. As Powell puts his hands out, says, don't touch it, and lets it go out of bounds. Last touch by the Bulldogs. Again, we mentioned the Bearcats will hit the road. 2 tough road trips coming up for the Bearcats as they will head to Southwest Baptist next, or this coming Thursday, and then a week from today, they faced Rockhurst. Right now, the Bearcats just focusing on this game, trying to get past the Bulldogs. Vicentich was looking to get it to Parker, but it's intercepted. Here come the Bulldogs on the run. All by himself is number 3, Hunter Strait. And we are tied at 71. Powell gets it off to Carson Parker. To Zerolini, to Boltman. Now they look to Parker once again. Parker trying to get past Xavier Hall. They find Boltman. Boltman drives it in, and he's going to get called for a charge. Head coach George Suggs halfway out on the court. Boltman still on the floor with the ball in his hands. Boltman a little shaken up there on that play. But head coach George Suggs is not happy with that call. Now that puts Boltman in the 3-foul category. So we'll take a look at fouls and who's in trouble right now. It's Boltman, Zerolini, and Vicentic. Again, that three-headed dragon that we've talked about for the Bearcats. All sitting at 3 fouls. That pass intercepted right by Zerolini. Zerolini finds Powell. Powell slows the tempo down just a bit. Tries to get a play set up. Finds Boltman. Boltman looks, drives, and he draws contact, and that's going to be on number 24, Elijah Hayskamp. So that is Hayskamp's 4th foul. Still considering our official score. Again, our live stats says 4 right now. It will update to say 5, but right now it is sitting at 4. And right now we're having a discussion about it. So we'll get that squared away as we'll take a quick commercial break here on the GLVC Sports Network. Back once again from our media timeout. We are tied at 71 here at the Harriet M. Statham Sports Center, and we still have not got clarification yet whether Elijah Hayskamp has 4 fouls or 5 fouls. Again, our live stats operating system that we have says 5. Our scoreboard and official scorer believed to have 4. And again, I ran into this problem at Greenville University when doing the PA, where the official score had one thing, the official stats having another thing. The referees that night went with the official score. They believed him. So right now it looks like Elijah Hayskamp is going to stay in this game with 4 fouls. And now our official stats here on sidearm has changed it back to 4. So Hayskamp with 4, Andrews with 4. And Jeff Horner, the coach for the Truman State Bulldogs, is going to take a highly risky move here, keeping Elijah Hayskamp on the court. Now again, Hayskamp, one of the lead scorers for Truman State. Right now, he's got 16 points in this game, as that ball is last touched by Eric Powell, goes out of bounds. It will stay in favor of the Bulldogs' possession with 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. We've talked about Hayskamp and how he's been a threat here this season, coming into today's game with 333 points, which leads his team averaging 15 points per game. And that's going to draw a foul on that play. That's Milos Vicentic. That's his 4th foul. So now head coach George Suggs is going to have to do some thinking here on what he wants to do. If he's going to take the risky gamble like head coach Jeff Horner is and keep Vicentic on the court. Vicentic with 17 points right now. He is a perfect 7 of 7 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. So if you put him on the bench, that is a huge body that you're taking away for this Bearcats offense and defense. And right now, head coach George Suggs is going to roll the dice again with Vicentic on the court. Vicentic with the ball. Gets it to Boltman. Boltman finds Caleb Zerolini. Zerolini, open 3. He makes it rain. And Zerolini makes it 75-73 with just over 2 minutes still remaining in our game. That shot, and it's going to be a foul, and I believe that is going to go on 31. It is. Milos Vicentic has picked up his 5th and final foul of the game, so Vicentic's night is done. He ends up with 17 points, 4 of 13 from the field goal range, 2 of 5 from three-point range, 7 of 7 from the free throw line. You couldn't ask any better. And then on the defensive side, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal. So that brings in Dylan Peeters, the junior, to the free throw line. 2 chances here. If he makes both, we'll be back to being tied at 75. He makes the first one. So we talked about foul trouble for the Bulldogs. Now foul trouble for McKendree with Vicentage out. Hayscamp with 4. Andrews with 4. Hayscamp still on the court, though, for the Bulldogs. So if you're the Bearcats, you might want to start attacking Hayscamp and make sure he draws maybe his 5th and final foul. But right now, we sit at 75. Davidkov coming in for Boltman. Finds Zerlini to Boltman. Boltman drives, spins. Hand in his face, still got a shot off, no good. Rebounded by the Bulldogs. Xavier Hall has it for the Bulldogs. He'll go to the side of the stats desk, right by his head coach, Jeff Horner. They're going to take as much time as they possibly can off the clock and the shot clock. However, there's still 2 minutes left, so I don't know if this is a strategy they want, but a good shot, and it's made by number 4, Dylan Peeters. Peeters picking up his 21st point here of the day. Boltman drives, he throws it in, and he makes a layup. And we are tied at 77. Once again, timeout called by head coach George Suggs. A 30-second timeout, so we will stay here on the GLVC Sports Network during this timeout. And I'm looking at my executive producer, Roger. He is pumped after that Boltman layup as we are tied at 77. And again, we'll go over some of those stat leaders for you. Peeters, as we mentioned, 21 points here for the Bulldogs. 7 of 8 from the field goal. Hasn't shot a three-pointer yet today. 7 of 7 from the free throw line. Just perfect like Milos Vicentage. 9 rebounds, 1 steal, and he's only got 2 fouls. So Peeters might have to be starting to pick up some of the slack here with his teammate Elijah Hayscamp, who is in foul trouble with 4, who has 16 points. Now on the flip side, as we mentioned, Milos Vicentage, his day is done. He is with 17 points. 7 of 7 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal. So you take that defensive side away from Milos Vicentage. Yes, the offensive side was key here today, but you still have Caleb Zerolini with 22 points here today, 9 of 11, 2 of 3 from the three-point range, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 9 rebounds. So Zerolini, a rebound away from a double-double. 5 blocks. Yes, you heard that correctly, fans. 5 blocks from Caleb Zerolini here in this game today. And then you have Bryson Boltman, I should say, with 15 points. He's got 8 rebounds, so we'll keep an eye out if Boltman and Zerolini can complete the double-double. More likely for Zerolini, but Boltman could get those 2 rebounds quickly. Right now, he's got to get a rebound here as Hayscamp puts a shot up, no good. And Zerolini comes down with the rebound. As I mentioned it, now Caleb Zerolini with a double-double here today. 22 points, 10 rebounds. Now let's see if Zerolini can get the offense going. We're tied at 77. A minute 20 remaining. Boltman puts the shot up, no good. Tips it again, back into his own hands. Gets an offensive rebound. Zerolini for 3. Thought about it, instead goes to the safer side. Davidkov. Powell. Back to Davidkov. They look to Boltman. Boltman with under just about a minute left in this game. 6 on the shot clock. Boltman's shot, no good. Rebounded by number 4, Peeters, and a foul is called. Head coach George Suggs can't believe it. The Bearcats bench up in arms about it. And it's going to be the 4th foul called on Bryson Boltman. So head coach George Suggs took the risky chance of keeping Milos Vicentage out on the court with his 4 fouls. We saw where that led. But right now you have to think head coach George Suggs is going to leave Boltman out here on this with 4 fouls. Free throw attempts coming up for number 4, Peeters. As we mentioned, Peeters, 7 of 7 before that attempt, and he misses. So maybe it's the broadcaster curse. If you mention the words perfect or something along those lines, it messes somebody up. Second attempt coming from Peeters. Also no good. My, oh my, these are definitely not what the Bulldogs intended going to the free throw line. And the Bearcats are going to take a timeout, a 30-second timeout. So again, we'll stay here on the GLVC Sports Network. As my executive producer, Roger, on the edge of his seat. I'm on the edge of my seat. We're tied at 77. 52 seconds remaining in this game. Just when you think the Bulldogs were going to take the chance to get the lead, Peeters, who was 7 of 7, heading to the free throw line, misses his next 2. Whew. Now, taking a look at both coaches. Head coach George Suggs is in there. He's drawing up the play that he wants his offense to run on this attempt. Jeff Horner, the coach for the Bulldogs, has to be careful. He has a technical foul from the first half. He also has Hayescamp still on the court with 4 fouls. Boltman on the court with 4 fouls for McKendree. So that's an eye opener right there. Boltman spins, tries to make a move. Layup no good. Rebound picked up by Caleb Zerlini. Zerlini, who already has his double-double, 22 points, now has 11 rebounds. Zerlini also with 5 blocks. This gives the Bearcats a second chance opportunity. Back to Zerlini. Zerlini for 3. And it's no good. Boltman's brought down. And we're waiting on the foul call, but I believe it's going to go on Bryson Boltman. And it will go on Boltman. So Boltman has fouled out of this game. 2 key players for McKendree have fouled out of this game. Milos Vicentich's day's done. Boltman's day's done. So what could have been a 50-50 call on the foul, either on 24 Hayescamp, which would have drawn his 5th foul, or the foul that was eventually called on Boltman results in his 5th foul, and Boltman's night has come to an end. Bearcat fans not happy with the call. We'll take a look at Hayescamp's numbers here from the free throw line. He is currently 3 of 3. Now, the last time we said that, they missed, but Peeters continues to improve. He's 4 of 4 now from the free throw line. Hayescamp, I should say, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Hayescamp also with the double-double, 16 points, 11 rebounds. Hayescamp's second free throw attempt is good, and now the Bulldogs with a 2-point lead. Shot clock is off. This is the last chance here for the Bearcats. They trail by 2. 20 seconds remain. Zerlini with the ball in his hands, being defended. Zerlini draws contact, and I believe that will send Caleb Zerlini to the free throw line. As that will be Trey Shears' first foul of the game. The 10th for the Bulldogs here in the second half. Bearcats also with 10 team fouls.
We have a timeout on the court.
Timeout called by the Bulldogs. It's going to be a full timeout. So we will take a quick commercial break here on the GLVC Sports Network. Fans, if you were looking for something exciting, here is the time. Our score, 79-77. Bulldogs leading by 2. Caleb Zerlini heading to the free throw line. Some key free throws here coming for the Bearcats. We take a look at Zerlini's numbers, 74.1% as of the 1st of February at the free throw line. Crowd is quiet. We will quiet too. First attempt is good. And another timeout called by Truman State. They're going to take a 30-second timeout, so they called a timeout before Zerlini went to the free throw line, trying to ice him there. They take this 30-second timeout after he makes his first free throw line, now trying to ice him once again. Kind of like you see in the NFL when a kicker's going to go for the game-winning field goal and you got some timeouts left in your pocket. You're going to be like, hey, I'm going to use one of these and try and ice the guy. And then the next thing happens, and you blink, and you black out, and you have a heart attack, depending on which team you're rooting for. But right now, head coach George Suggs going over his playmaking call here for the Bearcats. Truman State back on the court. Again, we have to keep an eye out. Hayescamp with 4 fouls. He has to be the most careful here on this play. Zerlini with a chance to tie it here at 79. Makes it. Woo. Huge sigh of relief from the broadcast booth. 79-79, 15.5 seconds remaining. Bearcat fans saying D up. They want the defense to come up strong. They've shown it here throughout the season. Another timeout called, as Truman State will call another 30-second timeout with 11 seconds, exactly 11 seconds left here in this game. Possession favors the Bulldogs. Possession arrow also favors the Bulldogs. So a jump ball here is not in the Bearcats' favor. If you're the Bearcats, you have to be your best here on defense. Definitely do not want to draw a foul unless you necessarily have to. But you definitely do not want to get a foul if they are shooting a 3. Here we go. 11 seconds left. 79-79. What else could you ask for here on a Saturday afternoon? Bulldogs will inbound it. Time continuing to click. Ball gets off the hands of number 3. That's Hunter Straight. Straight. Upset. Holy moly, we couldn't write this any better unless you were in the NFL and you were writing scripts like this. 79-79, 5.2 seconds remaining, and the possession goes to the Bearcats. A timeout called here, so we'll take a quick commercial break here on the GLVC Network, catch our breath, and bring you the exciting finish after this break.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Back once again here at the Harry M. Statham Sports Center on the campus of McKendree University, and we are in for an exciting finish of this GLVC matchup between Truman State and McKendree. 79-79, 5.2 seconds remain, and a turnover by the Bulldogs give the Bearcats a chance here. A huge chance. Now you got to remember, Boltman and Vicentage are fouled out of this game, so you have to look for somebody key. Seconds clicking off. Davikov for a long 3. Parker tries to make it go, and it doesn't as the buzzer goes off. We're 5 points. Boltman out with 5 points. Hayescamp has 4 for the Bulldogs. He has to be careful. Carson Parker with a chance to give the Bearcats the lead at the end of the buzzer, just falls a bit short. And now here we are, overtime, 5 minutes to go. As a long shot goes into the hands of who else but number 4, Dylan Peeters, and draws the foul on the play. So an and one opportunity coming up for the Bulldogs, as that is Meeks who draws his second foul of the game. So Zerolini with 3 fouls, Davikov with 3 fouls. As the and one is good by Peeters. Just like that, Truman State has jumped out to a 3-point lead here to start overtime. Zerolini looks, has 2 Bulldogs on him, gets it out to Meeks. 3 attempt, no good. And a rebound by Elijah Hayskamp. Xavier Hall now in control. He's going to run some plays. Communicating with his team, trying to find Hayskamp once again. Hayskamp back to Hall. Hall will slow the pace back down just a little bit, but they have to worry about the shot clock. 7 remains. Hall for a long 3. He makes it. And this is exactly how the Bulldogs wanted this overtime to start, and not how the Bearcats wanted. Now let's see if the Bearcats have some fight left in them. They get it off to Zerolini. Last touched by Straight, and it will be Bearcats possession still with 21 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 85-79 our score. The Bulldogs with 2 key plays so far here in the overtime. Zerolini looks, drives it in, no good, and a whistle called. Foul. And the question is who's it on? It's going to be on number 3, Hunter Straight, so his 3rd foul. So Hayskamp can breathe a sigh of relief for now. Zerolini waits his free throw attempt, makes that one. Had key free throws at the end of that second half to tie it at 79. Now looking to get his team back in it, as the second one is good. Now the Bearcats trail 85-81. They'll look to Hayskamp. Hayskamp with some room. He draws contact. And the question is it on Powell or Zerolini? It's on Powell. As Zerolini was unsure if that foul was going to be on him. But it is Powell's first foul. And Zerolini breathes a sigh of relief. That would have been his 4th foul if it was called on him. So Hayskamp will head to the free throw line. He is a perfect 6 for 6 at the line right now. And again, the last time we said that about a Truman State player, they went on to miss 2 free throws, which were kind of huge in this match. But Hayskamp continues to not feel the haze as he makes his 2 free throws. 87-81 our score. Bearcats trailing. They look to Powell. Powell for 3. No good there. Rebounded by the Bulldogs. Bearcats quickly back on defense. They got to make a defensive stand right here, right now. Xavier Hall getting direction from his head coach, Jeff Horner. Hall continuing to dribble the ball. They're going to continue to milk as much time as possible. With a 6-point lead here, 3 minutes still remain until overtime is over. Hall shoots, no good on there, and Davikov comes away with the rebound. They find Zerolini. Zerolini, he's going to drive, lays it in, and draws contact for the and one opportunity. So the foul will go on Dylan Peeters, his 3rd foul of the game. And Zerolini with the chance to continue to cut into this Truman State lead. Free throw attempt, hits the back rim, hits the front rim, and then finally goes in. A huge sigh of relief for the Bearcat fans. 87-84 our score. 2 minutes and 40 seconds remain until into overtime. Hall will get the ball around. They'll look. Again, the Bulldogs trying to get to their main guy, Hayscamp. Hayskamp's got to be careful, though, with his 4 fouls. Shot clock down to 5. Bearcat fans counting down. Shot by Straight, no good, up in the air. And it's going to be another shot. I think it might have hit the rim. Head coach Jeff Horner having a fit with our stats table. And another foul is going to be called here. And I believe that's going to go on number 13, Trey Shear.
Truman St. foul number 13, Trey Shear, his second.
And now head coach George Suggs getting into a little bit of a conference with head coach Jeff Horner. I think head coach George Suggs is standing up for his stats desk workers. Jeff Horner upset with that last call. The buzzer went off for a shot clock violation. Might have hit the rim. But nonetheless, it now sends number 21, Hayden Meeks, the sophomore, to the free throw line. And a chance to cut the lead down to 1. Meeks' second attempt is good. Meeks coming up huge at the free throw line. 87-86 our score. Truman State holding on to a 1-point lead. They look to Straight. Now to Hall. They find Hayscamp. Hayscamp, who's been all over the place here today. They find Peeters. Back to Hayscamp. Hayscamp finds the open 3. Doesn't make it. And the rebound by Carson Parker. A minute and a half remaining in overtime. Bearcats trailing by 1. They don't need to do anything too crazy. Just get a basket. Davikov looks to Zerlini. Zerlini tries to shake off Hall. Has Hayscamp right behind him. Zerlini pulls it up, shoots and makes it. Holy moly! What a play by Caleb Zerlini. And the Bearcats take the lead 88-87 with just about a minute here left in overtime. Bearcats chanting for the D up. Looking for a defensive stand. Bulldogs cannot find any space opening. 3 seconds remain on the shot clock. Long 3, no good. It's a rebound by the Bulldogs as it did hit the rim on there, so a fresh 20. As Truman State will call a timeout, we'll take a timeout here on the GLVC Sports Network. 88-87 our score. Tune in for the remaining 36 seconds.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Back here at the Harry N. Statham Sports Center. Fans, if you're not on the edge of your seats like I am, I don't know what we are doing here, but it is 88-87. Bearcats leading over the Bulldogs. 36.8 seconds remaining. And I've just been told by my executive producer, Roger, that Caleb Zerlini scored 26 points Thursday night, a career high. Well, it was a career high. He now has 31 points here tonight, which is a new high career for Caleb Zerlini. Right now, the defense has to come up here on a key situation. Straight has it, looking for an opening. Finds one. That is going to draw a foul. on number 21. That's Meeks. Meeks pleading his case to the referee. And that is Meeks' third foul of the game. And it will send Hunter Straight to the free throw line. As we take a look at the free throw line numbers for the Bulldogs, 24 of 27 at the free throw line. Now 25 of 28 from the free throw line. Straight. Now 3 of 3 from the free throw line. Ties it at 88. The next one, no good. So we sit at 88. Shot clock is off. Bearcats come up with the defensive rebound. One of the biggest rebounds here tonight. They have the chance to run as much clock as they possibly can, but they also have to try and get a shot off. Davikov being defended well by Hall. They get it to Powell. Powell has acquired him. Zerlini, who's got a career high for the shot, and he gets it with 0.2 seconds remaining. Caleb Zerlini. And now a timeout called, I believe, by Truman State. The last play is under review. The basket is good. That is going to count no matter what. What the referees, I believe, are looking at are seeing how much time is left on the clock. They have a chance to add it, and our executive producer, Roger, is going to show that last replay. We take a careful look at how much time is left. Again, clock stops when the basket is made. And you can't quite tell from that vantage point. But luckily the monitors in front of the stats desk will kind of tell the tale. So no matter what, the basket stands for Caleb Zerlini. He gives the Bearcats a 90-88 lead. The question that matters now is how much time will Truman State have here to inbound the ball. As we mentioned, Caleb Zerlini just had his career high points Thursday night against William Jewell with 26 points. He has erased that here today with 33. And his 33rd point comes at one of the biggest opportunities here for the Bearcats. Again, our referees going over to the video monitor to see how much time is left on the clock. And this is all to determine how much time the Bulldogs have left to inbound the ball. Huge sigh of relief as all the Bearcat fans that have made the trip out here to Harry M. Statham Sports Center to cheer on the Bearcats on their feet. Right now, the scoreboard says 0.2 seconds. We have not heard any announcements yet on if they've changed that. You also have to put this into key factor. With that basket being made, the Bulldogs are able to run the back court. So again, we will see how much time is left on the clock. They add 0.4. So 0.7 seconds remaining. The Bulldogs have a chance here. It is slim, but they have to get it in quickly. They do. Last second shot up and no good. The Bearcats win. Bearcats.